And today, we have a special guest, producer extraordinaire, black girl magic, doing things that I want to be doing one day. She's helped me out a lot since I've been here. I met her more than 10 years ago. Wow, time be flying. I met her in college.
I feel old.
I have the illustrious, the beautiful Jennifer Pessima.
Oh. Well, thank you for having me, Jeevan. I was a little scared coming here.
Why were you scared to come here?
Well, you said you had 42 questions.
44 questions.
44.
I just was thinking of what I can talk to you about. I mean, you got a lot going on. So, you know, I was looking at your Instagram page. I'm like, well,
it'll go real fast.
Huh?
It'll go real fast.
Yeah, I was like, she did do that. She did do that. She did do that.
Well, I did notice you like him. I said he must be getting information.
Yeah, I did.
I
was going back far. I was like, I like that. I see this kind of inspiring right here. You know, I was like, what happened right here? I didn't see this post. You know, the way Instagram is in their algorithms, you kind of miss some things.
Yeah, you do.
So,
you do.
Yeah, I don't like that, but you know, it is what it is. So tell us, who are you? Who is Jennifer Pessima?
Oh, well, I am, like you said, I am a lot of things, but to sum it up in one word, which would be hard, I am a process. I am continuously learning, continuously growing, continuously seeing parts of me that I didn't even know exist. So I am constantly trying to figure out who I am, and the beautiful thing about it is that I expose it to the world. Like, I don't care what y'all see about me or what y'all, you know, think y'all see about me, but I get to expose it to the world and share it with them and try to be a testimony so that people come.
And let me tell you all a little about her journey and things she's done. She worked on Creflo Dollars. What's the name of the show?
It's called Your World with Creflo.
And it came on what channel?
BT, Word Network, so many. It's about 20 different channels. TBN. Of course, you can go back and watch all the channels. I mean, all of the episodes on YouTube. But it's just been so many.
It's been on TV all over.
Yes, it's internationally known.
And you were the what for that show?
I was the producer. I was the co-producer. I would find the talent to come on the show, as well as find the audience, as well as give the direction for the show. So sometimes I had to be whatever they needed me to be, because it was usually, mainly it was about a 2-3 people process of getting it done, production. Like,
okay. And honk your horn a little bit. Who all have you had on the show that people might know? Who have you contacted to have on the show?
Well, the funny thing is, people feel as though because it's Dr. Dollar's show that we will get a list of people that come in, but the people that I have on the show was based off of me running into them in the streets, based off of me building relationships with them, based off of them telling me no a couple of times and me saying, come on, please. But we've had Walker Flocka and Tammy, him and his wife on. They had couple counseling on the show. It was so funny.
This was after their little problems or before their problems?
Probably during their problems.
Oh, during their problems.
Yeah, it was during their problems. It was amazing to have them on the show. He was amazing. She was amazing. 2 Chainz came on the show, and it was just based off of, we had to meet him in the middle. Because he told me, like, I would stalk him. I would be like, hey, you coming on the show? I would call his people like, hey, you coming on the show? And he would be like, no, no, no. So we had to meet him in the middle ground. So it had to be something that worked with him, and which was blessing the family. That was something that he was able to do. And once we got him in, him and Dr. Dollar was on the show, and they were able to basically digest everything that was going on. Literally, 2 Chainz stayed there longer than anybody, asking questions.
Like after the show or like during the show?
During the show. It was like a 3-hour show thing, and he just kept asking questions about religion, about relationship with God, about is this right, is this not right. So it just was different to see me able to bridge the gap. We had Lil Boosie on the show. He actually said no, and he was like, don't ask me again. And then he didn't say it that rudely, but he had the cancer scare. And once he had the cancer scare, he was able to come and really realize, like, hey, that was God.
Right.
And it's a beautiful thing when people in the secular world can identify with that was God.
Right.
So he came on the show and was able to basically say, hey, God did this for me and he brought me out. So I just gotta really come on here and say big ups to God.
I was a big fan of Boosie in college, and he always had little bits and pieces of God in his music. Like I know he had a song one time called "God I Know." And when I first met Dunk, you know, that's his cousin, right?
Yeah, his cousin Dunk. Yeah. So I'm really close with his cousin Dunk. You can say that's my brother. That is my brother. It's been even spurts of where I was like, I want to manage you. So I got to really know their upbringing, and Dunk and Boosie still do weekly prayers. Like Dunk does a national prayer call, but he also do a family prayer call. And I've been around where
like the whole family.
The whole.
I know they probably did. Boosie got all them kids. Don't tell them how many aunts and uncles they probably got.
It's the whole family on the prayer call just praying,
and is Dunk leading it?
Dunk is leading it. But before it was his grandmother. So it's a legacy that he's trying to keep in his family because his grandmother is deceased.
So his grandmother would call everybody and they have a family prayer?
Well, it's a conference call. So they get on the conference call and they pray. And I've been there and I witnessed it a couple of times. Boosie's been on and sometimes he hasn't. But it's like his upbringing is church. And you know, it's not going to be too far from him. He knows the word. He knows the Bible. So he does feel conviction when he does things, but you know, we all are a process.
Right. I saw one time I went to Louisiana with Dunk.
Oh yes.
And he prayed before a little Boosie concert.
Yeah.
How I seen that. I thought that was amazing. Like they're praying before little Boosie gets on stage.
On stage.
Was that his idea? And how did the crowd react to that?
Well, it was a beautiful thing because Dunk stay in his lane and Boosie stay in his lane. So even just the excitement I heard from Dunk when Boosie asked him to come and join the show. And as soon as he asked him, I was like, yeah, we're getting all of that footage. Like I'm producing it. We're asking people questions about God, Lucci, what's that, Black Youngster, all of them was there. So just to I know it's so like oxymoron, but it's either God is in everything or he isn't. Right. So I was like, I want to go and I want to interview these people to just get their basically their point of view on who God is. Right. So we went and he prayed, and to tell you the truth, it was no incident that happened that whole weekend. Right.
And that's big for Boosie.
Yeah, it was big for a Boosie concert, and it was big for just African American together, like really partying from that day to the after party to the block party to everything. It was just like no incident that happened.
What did Black Youngster say when you asked him about God? Listen here.
Well, you know, he's actually very articulate and he's very smart. Like, you know, I feel like people have two sides of them. The one the world loves and then the one that people get to see. Like, he was very articulate and he was able to say that God is real. Without this, without God, I wasn't here. You know, and it's so funny because all of them, even Lucci, could attribute, even Boosie could attribute it to their grandmother. My grandmother was praying for me. She got me here. My grandmother prayed for me. She got me here. So it was a good situation to see. Even when I asked Lucci about God, he was like, "I'm here." Like the first thing he said was, "I'm here," and because of him, I am here.
And if y'all don't know, those are rappers we're talking about. They're famous rappers. They all have songs on the radio.
Yeah,
pretty big.
They do.
So them talking about God and, you know, you say breaking the secular world. And
I wanted to bridge the gap because I feel like although we may not agree with it or we may not say, hey, they're not using the gift the way God wants them to use it, he gave it to them. So for them to be able to get to these different platforms and say, I wouldn't get here without God, it's a beautiful thing to see. And you can't really judge people's relationship with God or say, oh, they need Jesus, because you have no idea. Nobody would expect that Boosie gets on a prayer call every Saturday morning.
Well, if you're a fan, I wouldn't expect that, but you know, you got something in them. because he.
Yeah, he got something in us.
Some of his songs from back in the day, I would blast like on. I had like a rap Sunday playlist.
Yeah.
So it'd be like rap songs that they talk about God. Though.
Yeah.
So Boosie was on there a few times because he has a few songs when he's talking about God
or
like,
even when you look at Waka Flocka and Tammy, you wouldn't expect that she goes around the house praying and putting holy oil on the windows and stuff. It's just that serious. You know, we feel like we deal with demons, but imagine what they're going through in the entertainment industry.
Right. When you left Coppin, was there anything that forced you to go like? I know you still like an hour away from home, but I know home can be sometimes kind of like I want to get away from this. Is there anything like I gotta leave? I can't stay here. If I stay here, I might go down the wrong path.
Are you trying to ask me about my past?
A little bit. I tried a good segue for it,
Oh well, I'm open about everything.
Yeah, I figured you were. That's why I was like,
yeah, that I've been through. A lot of people may not know this, but it was just a whole different part of me. A lot of people who don't know Ice. My middle name is Isata. Everyone call me Ice.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I try to make up different things, but I really don't know. I was named after my aunt. I may have to call her after this interview and ask her. I looked it up on the internet. It was a long list of things that it meant, but I just say it means.
Is it African name?
Yeah, Isata, Isata, and so a lot of people call me Ice for short. So a lot of people joke and say it's two sides of it. They say you got Jennifer, the Ice and you got the Jennifer. And not too many people may know the Ice of me. I grew up in District Heights. It was a community called Gas Station Crew. Yeah, the Go-Go. If you're from the DMV or if you know anything about the DMV, DC, Maryland, and Virginia, you know Go-Go. My brother was a part of the Gas Station Crew, and I was a female version of it. So we was like, what's our name gonna be? And me and my group, we kind of big. We still big, but we're going after different things right now. It's about 15 of us, and we was like, okay, we're gonna be called BTO, and B stands for that negative word, and then TO stands for taking over. So we had the B's taking over. Until you change your mindset, you're always going to be in that position. But in DC, this is what the stick that broke the camel back. We had a situation in DC. I'll never forget. It was the day after Valentine's Day. I was actually in Atlanta. I went home for neither here nor there. I went home. It was the day after Valentine's Day. Put two and two together, you could get it. I went home and we were out at a club, and my best friend called me and said, "Hey, I'm fighting downtown, close to some quarters. Come, I need help." Okay. So we went downtown. It was not a question. It was all of us together. We was already at the Go-Go. And we went down there, and her and her cousins was fighting. Ambulance was there and everything. So she ended up telling us what was going on, and the girls were still down the street. So I'm like, well, where are they? She's in frantic. She's dramatic. Well, she's always dramatic, but she was just extra dramatic. So we walked down the street, and she started charging this girl. So I'm like, what is going on? So obviously that's the girl that she was fighting. So no, kid you not, the ambulance is right here. We are right here at the end of the block. They're at one end, we're at the other end. So we go, we see her running straight towards the girl. So we like, okay, we telling the girl backing up because she sees a lot of us, and she like, no, you guys are going to jump me. I'm like, we're not going to jump you. Like, come on, come fight, So Callie charged her. We see two males on the corner like, hey, leave my baby mother alone. But we're not really paying them attention. Right. We like, okay, you're male. So they run in the house. One dude come with a gun. During that season in my life, I was kind of really going through a dark stage in my life, other than the fact of fighting people. I lost my father right after that. So my father and my mother. So first it was my mother, then my father passed. So it was kind of like, I was kind of open to whatever was supposed to happen to me. I would kind of tell people with guns, like, because that wasn't the first or the second or the third time we got a gun pulled out on us. Shoot me, I don't care.
Right.
So eventually I ended up telling the guy with the gun, shoot me, I don't care. You know, I don't care. You went and you got a gun, that's fine. Shoot me. My best friend grabbed me. I never forget. Eric grabbed me and was like, please, please, just run. Come on. So he had the gun, and somewhere inside of me, I felt like I knew he wasn't going to shoot. But another guy was running towards the gun, like, shoot them bees, like, shoot them hoes. And I was like, she was like, he's going to shoot us. And I was like, I don't care, kill me, send me to my parents.
Were you
like,
drunk?
No. I wasn't drunk, I wasn't high, I would write letters. During that season, I was writing, and you know, some people say, oh, death. You know, it was something that I was calling upon me. Like, I would write letters to God, basically saying, dear God, I know suicidal is a sin, but I want to be with my parents. I don't want to kill myself. However that happens, make it happen. So during that season, I kind of wanted to die. So I was going through depression. I wouldn't say suicidal because I never tried to kill myself, but I wanted to die. I wanted to be with my parents. So every time somebody pulled out a gun, I was like, a part of me was like, ooh, this is the way out. So he pulled out the gun, and then when I looked at my friend Erica, she started crying, and I was like, he is going to shoot me. And something inside of me just woke up and was like, run. And I ran, and it was about 15 of us that night, and I was the only one that got shot twice. So I didn't know I got shot until I got in the car. We was in the car, and we saw blood, and I was like, who is bleeding? You know, because you don't know at first. I was like, who is bleeding? So we in the car, and you know, all of us, it's about 5 of us in the car, and then we like, oh my God, there's so much blood. And I'm like, wow, like somebody really got shot, you know?
Your adrenaline rushing, so you don't feel none of that.
Yeah, didn't feel none of that. And still, the ambulance and the cops are right here, and we're right there. So my friend Treese, we're in the back. My friend Treese in the back, and she's feeling me, and she's like, oh my God, Ice, that's coming from you. Oh my God, Ice, that's coming from you. So I'm like, no, it's not. She's like, look. So I feel it's a hole in my leg. So I get my friend Terry, she's a drunk.
He shot you two in your leg twice?
Yeah, but I didn't know about my second one until I got to the hospital.
Wow.
So we get in my friend Terry picks me up, and we go running. She picks me up, and we run to the ambulance. And they like, when did this happen? We right down the street fighting. Y'all didn't hear none of this? And they like, well, get her to an ambulance, you know. I called my sister, and she started crying. We get to the hospital, and they tell me it's like point-something millimeters away from a nerve.
Oh, wow.
And don't move. We don't know if it hit the nerve, when to stop bleeding, blood just gushing out, like, no matter what they do.
You feel dizzy at all, or like you want to faint?
I was on drugs, so I didn't feel nothing. Like, they put me on drugs, so I didn't really feel nothing. The next day, like, they had to do surgery to do something, so I woke up, like, with all my friends and family there, you know. I think I remember seeing my sister and my best friend, Devin. So I saw them, and I was like, what happened, you know? So they kind of told me what was going on, and it was just a lot of people waiting in the emergency room for me. So it was like a aha, wake up, get yourself together moment.
And you know, that's not uncommon, because in my book I have a story about my friend who's a woman who got shot also.
Yeah.
In college. So.
Yeah, they don't care, guy or girl, they're gonna shoot you, you know. And as I said, it was not my first time a gun was pulled out. Not just accidentally, it was purposely for us. It was always purposely for us.
Right. And so, because I know you're real spiritual now, so did that make you become like more spiritual? That your aha moment, like, let me get my life together?
Well, yes, and for the most part, yes. It was a lot of healing I went through with that. I do remember realizing, like, you know, like, I started separating myself from things and people, and I started to really hurt from that situation. But it wasn't just that situation. It was the course of losing my mother and losing my father and being able to really deal with the pain and not run away from it and not fight and go out here and get mad at the world. It was, okay, something's wrong with you. You need counseling. You need therapy, because at the age of 15, at the age of 18, at the age of 21, you're experiencing 15 when I lost my mother, 18 when I lost my father, 21 when I got shot. You're experiencing a lot of traumatic situations that the world don't go through. Like, in your mind, you feel like it's the norm, but it's not the norm. Like, we need you to go get help. So before you can help anybody, you need to go help yourself. So I started to go to counseling. When my mother died, they tried to put me in counseling school. I kind of messed that up. But I started to take initiative and really go seek counseling, seek spiritual help, and seek, you know, I went to ministry school. But the reason why I went to ministry school wasn't to be a minister, was to basically see, who is this God we're praying to? Who is this person that's supposed to have our back? And who is this person that's supposed to heal us when we go through traumatic situations? And why haven't I seen him through the course of my life? You know, so I was angry at God. So
did you finish ministry school?
Yeah.
So you're a minister?
No. We did 3 years of ministry school. It's not hard to be a minister. You could be a minister. You just go and people ordain you. So I didn't go to get ordained. It's a 1-day process. I still can go, but I just haven't done it. I did 3 years in ministry school, and throughout the course of me doing ministry school, I was able to experience God. I was able to prophesy. I was able to just say, hold up, wait, God is telling me different things about different people. I was able to pray for people. I was able to heal people. But at the end of the day, I didn't do it to become a title. I did it to become closer to him, to really gain a relationship.
What other TV shows have you worked on? Just Creflo?
No. I worked on the Dr. Sonia Experience. She has a talk show. She is actually a nationally known speaker. She actually is doing a conference with Miles Monroe. I mean, not Miles Monroe. I'm sorry. Rest in peace, Miles Monroe. Les Brown. She's about to do
That's big.
Yeah. Her show is on Bravo. So, she has a show on Bravo. I casted and produced for about like 5 different shows.
What was the best show you worked on?
The best mine's right now.
I was gonna get into that. So she's producing her own show, about to hit the screen, and tell us the name of it. Tell us what it's all about. BBW.
It's called BBW, and it has been an awesome project.
What is BBW?
Hold it, wait. It ain't the bad one, is it?
What's the bad one?
BTO?
No.
No.
That need to be a show, but BBW stands for Big Beautiful Women.
Okay.
So what happened was literally last year, the end of last year, I wrote the script. It took me a short amount of time to write it. Once I get in the mood to write it, it's just like write it. So it is a series. I was able to write the first episode. Right now we have about 7 different episodes that we've written. But I was able to write the first episode, and then amongst the first episode, I shared it with someone. I shared it with a few people, but it was someone who I shared it with. That's why I kind of like sharing stuff with people, because I would have never done it with it. I was actually going to sit on it. She shared it because I just...
Especially if you completed it.
Because in your mind, I don't have the time. I need to do this. I don't have to, you know. And I was working on the other project, and I was working with Dr. Dollar. I was putting other people before me.
Right. And how did you come up with the storyline for BBW? Like, how did that come up that you wanted to work with big black women or heavyset women? How did everything come about?
Well,
and what's the premise of the show?
The log line. Yeah. Well, BBW was something that I just came up with. You know how you had, this is something I could attribute to Spike Lee. He told us. He said, you'll have napkin ideas.
Did Drake inspire you?
No, but I try to use his music in my show.
Cause you know Drake has a line on Nicki Minaj's song, and he says, "I love my girls BBW."
Yes. But Spike Lee always said you have napkin ideas, and sometimes they enter your thought and they leave just that fast. But hurry up and write it down.
Yeah,
so
that's so true.
I was driving in a car one day and I had the napkin idea, BBW. I forgot what I was working on the Trumpet Awards, and when I was doing the Trumpet Awards, Gabby, she's a plus size model. She's big on Instagram. She had just got an award for being a plus size model, and I was like, they're really embracing plus size right now in the model industry. What about the television industry? If we look at the people in the television industry, they're always the goofy big girl, the one that no one likes, or the depressed one that wants to lose weight. But what about the sexy, the confident, the beautiful one that is okay with the skin she's in? Like, we're always going towards, and I started to really think about the body shaming, a lot of people trying to do lipo. I actually did a show with Dr. Sonia about girls who wanted to do lipo, and people who were dying off of this situation, you know. So I was like, wait, you know, I am able to create a lane where people are beautiful being big, because I'm not big today, but I've been back and forth with the fact that I feel like I'm big. Oh my God, I need to go do something about myself, about my weight. And sometimes you're not always going to feel at your best.
Right.
So I connected with Brandy. She's the main character. And I sent her the script. And as soon as she read the script, she called me back and she said, "Did I share some of my life with you?" And I was like, she's like, you know, we talked, but I don't think she's like, did I? And she was like, I was reading this with my husband, and he was like, oh, babe, I didn't know you told her about that. And, you know, so it was something that was needed. Right. So a lot of people don't know this, but I created a forum, a private forum with a few online on Facebook, a private forum, just basically sharing with bigger girls, bigger women, the direction I'm going in, and getting their opinion, getting their feedback, and saying, oh yeah, I feel that's true. Cause
it's like a private group?
Yeah, because I'm telling their story.
How'd you get them to join?
I just said join. We started the forum, and they started to communicate with me some things that gone through their life, and I'm like, I can use that. Right. So it's a private forum. Of course, legal things are in place just so I won't take their story and they like, hey, I gave her that, you know. So I had to be a big girl in this dream. I got an entertainment lawyer. I have a manager. I have an agent. I have all these things together right now because yeah, I have a manager, Lex. I have an entertainment lawyer, Alakisha. She is one of the greatest entertainment lawyers here in Atlanta. And then agent, I've worked with her on other things that I've worked with, and I saw how she went to bat for her people, which is the Braxtons or whoever she was working with, and I was like, I want her as my agent. So it's just,
and all these people, they have read your script, and they I mean, in order for them to come on, do they have to like see what you're doing first and like kind of believe you? Yeah.
Some of them see it, or some of them just hear it.
Right.
When I talk to them, passion, you know. Even my executive producer, the guy who's funding it, I don't even think he read the script.
So do you have a release form that to sign?
Yeah.
He's investing in you, but he didn't read it. So how?
He didn't read it.
Somebody just told him about it?
Well, I told him about it. We had a meeting about it. I told him about it, and he just was amazed at my passion. And I read this article. You know that Alexa?
The Amazon thing. Yeah.
So I was listening to see when they're projected to be a billionaire company, and I feel like I think it's 2020. So
that's 2 years.
Yeah, so within 2 years more. So what happened was the partner, the guy who initially invested in it, he didn't even know what the guy was talking about. He was like, I didn't know what the heck he was about to create, but I heard his enthusiasm, I heard his excitement, and you don't say no to passion. You don't say no to authentic passion and eagerness and willingness and someone that has a work ethic to it. So my executive producer known me for years. He's seen my work ethic, and I've been pretty consistent, and I just work. So he just knew, like, okay, what she got going on now. Like, okay, I'll invest. You are someone I wouldn't mind investing in.
Wow. That's big. I guess if I want to come and invest it, I got to take those notes in because I'm going to want to read everything, know what's going on.
I mean, you have those stuff in place just in case.
It's just for shows or movies too?
Movies too. So I met with, what's that company? Because I have a movie as well. I'm working on that.
I'm working on one too. I'm working on a show and a movie.
Well, this is what prompted me to hurry up and get it done because I went, it's called Horse. I forgot they do Christian films. And so each thing, I sat there and was like, I need an idea for each thing. And then when I met with them, someone actually tried to buy my film. But the problem with that is they may buy it and still never use it.
Right.
So, like, my friend Dennis, who's over Black and Sexy TV, I don't want to tell his business, but I am going to tell his business. HBO bought something and they never used it from him.
Oh, wow.
So they can buy your stuff and never use it.
They buy the rights to it, rather.
Yeah, and you can never use it too. So
he still get the money?
I mean, he got the money.
He get to keep the money?
Yeah.
I'm saying, so if they do a show based off your concept, you don't get any royalties from it? You just bought it right out?
That's if you're the script writer and the creative and you sign your rights away. Yeah, you don't get no royalties or anything. They may not even use it. Like I said, they bought his show.
They never used it.
They're not. It's on the cabinet somewhere.
That's a lost money.
No, actually it's not because they can always pull it back down later on when the
yeah,
time is right.
but it's like when you think about it like.
So when you say buy, what kind of dollars you talking about when they buy your idea? I mean, just a ballpark figure. I don't have to be exact.
It depends on what with him. He wrote different ideas, so they bought the series from him. So the series is much more than just basically the pilot. The pilot is basically the first episode to see if people like it. So if they buy the series from you, that's more money. You can sell an episode. If you're a script writer, you can sell it by the episode.
What, like 100,000?
It depends. It depends on how good it is and who you're talking to. But my friend Anthony, he sold shows from. He's a script writer, and that's all they do. From anywhere from 20, he's done MacGyver for 33,000. So different shows is different.
That one
show.
That one episode.
That one episode, and then the thing about it is they may not use everything you wrote.
They can change it. They literally bought it.
Yeah, they may send it to. They may just use one fraction of it. Like him, they only use one fraction of it.
He still got paid.
He still get paid. Cause
they're making money off these shows. They can give you that.
Yeah.
You understand the advertisers pay a lot for a 30-second commercial. You know what I mean? A 30-second commercial you put in an hour-long show.
Right.
Oh yeah, they do pay a lot. They could, even when, and I've done commercials before. That's why as a producer, I never had the heart to go into videos and depending on who it is. Like, I wouldn't do a video with a rapper or something like that unless your name is really, really out there, because you can go over here. Me and my friend, we did a commercial with USA Food and they paid us like $30 off the break. So at the end of the day, it's like, why would I do your video for $5,000
right.
when I could go make a commercial and do it? And then my friend, she got casted for a commercial, $16,000 off the break. So
to be an actor?
Yeah, to act. It was a one-day shoot for $16K. Like, yeah.
Okay.
You shoot
100 times. So you need doggone chips so you can run out of them.
Right. So at the end of the day, it's just you just start to really research putting yourself in a better position.
Yeah, I'm dropping a lot of gems today. What has been the most toughest thing since filming BBW? What's the most challenging? What would you say?
The most challenging at first was finding an investor, finding the finances, and just putting in the long hours to get it done. Like, you have a dream and you really wanted to see it done. You are going to go through. So
your days start early in the morning and end late at night. There's a whole day thing, shooting, filming.
Yeah, and I don't sleep, so it's just like the last scene we shot. Like, we told the guy who owns the house, like, we'll be done by 12. That's a lie. We left his house at 6 a.m., you know? You know, so, and then after you leave his house, it's like a production meeting afterwards, the next shoot, you know, you still have to go through that. So you have to find locations. I just put that on my feed. After I leave here, I'm going location scouting. So we do more work before the shoot and after the shoot than during the shoot.
Right.
So the catering, the cost of that. So I asked, it was the funding at first. And me, my co-producer and I, we would meet, and we still sometimes meet at 3 o'clock a.m. in Uber to get our dreams done. Like, it's not going to be easy. Like, people think, oh, it's going to be easy. Nah, you got to find the extra money somehow, some way. If someone's not investing in your dream, continue to invest in your own dream, you know. So she'll meet me at 3, like, you up? Like, yes, girl, come on, we got to go Uber. Like, whatever we make this week, we put it into our film.
You said go Uber? Oh, to make some money to go to the
drive, yeah. So, you know, people see the glitz and the glam of what I do, but they don't, like, they don't know all that. And that was my first time.
So they don't see the leg work.
Yeah, even some of my friends don't even know that's what I do, you know. So I'm constantly looking for investments. I'm constantly going out here and grinding. Like, I'm not going to ask you to put your money towards something.
I'm my own money.
Yeah, while I'm sitting home being lazy, like, what are you doing to get your dreams done? Okay, cool. You know, so at the end of the day, I try to make sure that I am someone that you can invest in.
Yes.
And you won't say, man, I effed my money out.
Right. What is your goal for all of this? Like everything.
My goal, and it's so funny because I saw you like the picture, but
I can't remember. I can't even.
It was something that I found. It was a 4x6 index card, and it basically said was to take over the world visually through Jennifer Pessima production company. So
and you wrote it down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's the question I got. Go ahead.
Just in March, Jennifer Pessima production company has been registered. Just in March. So within the 3 months, 4 months, we've been, as much as I don't see it, we've been making heavy legway.
Right.
You know, so just even the people that's involved in it. My goal is to create a platform where I can bring so many artistic people together and they could become big.
Right.
You know, I want music. My manager was like, you know, a lot of people are going to hit you up with music. I was like, they already are. And he's like, well, Jennifer Pessima Production needs a music section, which is not too far from who I'm connected with. My brothers and all of them would do music. Like, you know, so they're out here. So I'm like, well, it makes sense. Why not manage them?
Right.
You know, so it just was like, my goal is to be one of the biggest filmmakers and the television content creator ever, you know. So I have a movie that I'm working on that I want to be in production by next year. It's $100,000 budget. I found something that was like it, and I saw how much they made, and now I'm like, it's a Christian film. Next time we have a meeting or a conversation on this radio station, you're going to hear me say, I got that $100,000 budget. I want to have meetings with pastors, which I've gained a relationship with. And just basically, one of the things that I do is I look online and I see people who created movies, how much was the budget and what was the outcome. That was a $100,000 budget and they got $10 million.
Right.
So I'm like, wait a minute, like, why not me? So $100,000 budget, get 50 from that pastor, get 50 from that pastor, put it together, get the actors, I know some stars that would do it for a reasonable price, get them together and shoot it. Use the pastors' campuses and get it done. Right.
Every time I watch Oprah, some of her old interviews, even the interviews now, she said that when she first started off doing her shows, she just had people on there that, you know, to get ratings for the show and to get people to come on that make the show look good, to stay on the air. But she said, you know, she stopped doing that. I think she had the KKK on there one time.
Oh, yeah.
And then one time she had a guy on there that she cheated on his wife, and she saw how distraught his wife was, and she didn't like how that felt, and she decided from that moment on that it was all going to be about intent and purpose. And, you know, all the producers for her show, when they came to her to tell her about the show or to pitch it, they always had to tell her, like, what is the intent behind this? What is the purpose behind this? So when you make your shows and you write your scripts, do you have a purpose behind it? Do you have an intent to make sure it's serving some kind of purpose behind it?
Yes. I actually listened to her podcast, Making Oprah.
Yeah, me too.
And I remember that. And I remember the after fact of the KKK coming back on the show and apologizing for who they were. My intent is that's why I created my forum. Because I always want to go back and I always want to come to them first to say, am I representing you guys right? If not, let me know.
For the BBW?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I always want to make sure I have people around me that says no or that says yes. Like, yeah, do that or no, don't do that, you know. And sometimes you have an idea that comes to you. It may be a good idea, but it's not a God idea. So I always want to take myself back and say, hold on, wait, that don't feel right. Like, what's the purpose? You can tell a story, like, even with BBW. It is a little bit of cursing, but, like, some actors just couldn't stop cursing. Shout out, kill him. But, you know, it just was like, that's who he is. That's his character. We can't take it. But I try to put out something in the world where people can feel good about it and can relate. And if people...
Okay, last question. Somebody's looking at you right now. What advice would you give them to get where you're at?
I knew
from a spiritual standpoint, working hard standpoint. Jennifer Pessima.
I knew you was gonna ask that. So take the first right step. And I heard that from Oprah. Take the first step. Like, whatever the first step is, like, don't look at the bigger picture. Look at the first step. What do you need to do right now? What can you do right now? For me, it was writing a script. Like, you can't say you want to be this big producer or this big television creator or content creator and you haven't taken the step to write the script. So write the script. If I would have never wrote the script, I wouldn't have had a friend able to send the script to a director. You know, what's the first next step? Not the second, not the third. What's the next step you can take in the right direction? And that goes for anything. Any situation, you know. I was just telling my friend, she's like, I'm in this horrible relationship, and I'm like, well, what's the next step you can take to get out of it? She's like, you know, like moving with my mother. Well, do that, and then after that will come the next answer, and then the next answer, and then the next answer. It'll all unfold. So that's my encouragement and advice. Like, what is the first right step that you can take to get into your dreams or out of the situation you want to get out of?
And where can they find you at?
Jennifer Pessima on Facebook and on Instagram. And my
spell that last name.
Pessima. Jennifer Pessima as in M as in mammal A. So Jennifer Pessima at Gmail, at Jennifer Pessima on Instagram, Jennifer Pessima on Facebook, Jennifer Pessima on everything, Snapchat, everything.
Okay.
Very good.
And you guys will see her again winning an Emmy Award one day or Oscar.
Yeah, I
Just
received
look out
it.
for it. Straight from gas station.
Wait, and my movie premiere will be, my television show will be in September, Midtown Movie Theater, red carpet situation. Ansley will be on mic. My brother Cliff and possibly his girlfriend now, Mina, will be hosting it. We'll be hosting it. It's just gonna be a star-studded event. You know, coming dressed and pressing. Yeah, she will be there.
All right.
Thank you so much, Jennifer Pessima. Straight from gas station. Again, this is Jeevan Brown. I'm signing out. This is your WCEG TalkRadio.com, the Worldwide Community Empowerment Group. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram at WCEG_talk_radio. You can call in and Skype at 678-619-1402 to join the conversation. And we're your 501c3 nonprofit.
Jason, what's up, Jason?
Please consider making a tax-deductible donation to help support our broadcast. You can go to our website or call our office at 404-490-8646. Thank you in advance. Signing out.
Thank you.